Get out! Hey everyone, welcome to another review. Here's my review for the movie Get Out. Yes, Get Out stars Daniel Kaluuya, Allison Williams, Katherine and Bradley Whitford, and this movie's written and directed by Jordan Peele. Yes, the guy from Keanu and from the show Key and Peele, which is a great show. Very funny guy. He now makes his directorial debut with a horror movie called Get Out, and I really don't want to spoil this movie, but basically, the gist of the story is what you get from the trailers. It's about this white girl who has this boyfriend who is black, and she basically takes him on a trip to go visit her parents, and he's a little nervous meeting them because the parents don't know that he's black. So they go out in the middle of nowhere and meet her parents and stuff, and they seem like good people, very nice people, very respectful people. However, he actually finds out more about them, and shit just goes down. I don't really want to spoil what happens, but it deals with a lot about race and class and stuff, and a lot about relationships and hypnotizing and stuff, and yeah, basically it's kind of like a Stepford Housewives situation, but in a kind of different way. This is a dark horror thriller with some satirical elements in it, and that's all I can say. And that's the only thing I can spoil for you guys, because I can't spoil anything. It's about a girl who brings her boyfriend to see her parents, and then some crazy shit happens. Some really messed up shit happens, and it deals with relationship, class, and racism and stuff, and that's all I'm going to say about this movie. I don't want to talk in depth about it because, again, this review is early, a lot of people haven't seen it yet, and I don't want to spoil it. Everyone should just go see this movie and enjoy it because this movie is thoroughly enjoyable, and I highly recommend people to see it, especially if you're a fan of horror movies. This is a great horror, psychological thriller, dark comedy. This movie is very well done. Jordan Peele, I've been a fan of Jordan Peele. I loved him in Keanu. I love Key and Peele. I love Keegan-Michael Key. I love him just as much, maybe more as an actor, but as a filmmaker, Jordan Peele really proves himself in this movie. He directs this movie phenomenally well. He also wrote it very good dialogue, very interesting three-dimensional characters, and again, how he directs this movie, you can tell he knows a lot about horror movies, and he knows how to direct suspense and scares and chills and atmosphere, and he did very well in this movie, and I thought it was a great directorial debut, and I'm very curious to see what he does with his future career in directing. I hope he does more horror movies. I hope he does some comedies. He's got a great career ahead of himself, and this was a great start for his directing career because he did such an incredible job. The performances are also all very good. The lead performance in this movie, Daniel Kaluuya, is so good in this movie. He is amazing. He actually was in Black Mirror, the show Black Mirror, in the first season. If you don't know that show, check that show. It's a great show. He was amazing in that show, and I always knew he would do more with his career and be in movies and stuff, and I was very teased in this movie. His lead performance, he's so good in this movie. He gives hands down the best performance. Bradley Whitford's also great in this movie. Katherine are also really great in this movie. They're both very creepy and unsettling in this movie. Also, a very small performance by Little Rel Howery is his name. I think that's his name. Very small performance. He hands down gives the most funniest performance in this movie. He is fucking laugh out loud hysterical in this movie. This movie also has a lot of dark comedy in it. There is a lot of moments in this movie that is so weird and bizarre. It's kind of funny and interesting. And so, yeah, there's a lot of scenes in this movie that actually reminds me of Black Mirror and Twilight Zone stuff, and I really enjoyed it, the atmosphere and the tension. It was very Black Mirror, Twilight Zone, Stepford Housewives-esque, and I was really into it. And how the movie is executed, and I love how this movie begins. The opening to this movie hooked me like that. I don't know how to spoil this movie, but this movie is interesting. It talks a lot about race and stuff in a very interesting, fascinating way, and I freaking loved it. The performances, the direction, the writing, the tension, the scares, the atmosphere were all great in this movie. This movie even has a great score, a very eerie score, and it just works. Everything in this movie just really freaking worked. I was excited to see this movie, and this movie did not disappoint. Again, everything was just done so freaking well in this movie. The only problem I had with it is there are a few scenes that literally make no sense. There are some scenes in this movie I'm like, what? Like, what? Like, there's just moments in this movie that literally make no sense and literally go nowhere. And it's not just like one scene, there's like 3 or 4 scenes that like go absolutely nowhere. I'm like, what was the point of that? And then there's just some weird scenes that are just weird for the sake of being weird. So yeah, those were my only issues with this movie. There's a few scenes that just don't work and they don't make sense. Other than that, it's done very well. Writing, direction, performances, score, tension, atmosphere, execution, all done fantastically well. Highly recommend this movie. If this movie is in a theater near you, please go pay money and see this movie and, support it. More good horror movies need to get support, and yes, Jordan Peele needs to make more movies after this because he did a fantastic job. So yeah, Get Out is a movie I highly recommend. So yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give the movie Get Out a 9 out of 10. So yeah, please check this movie out. It is so well done, and I'm just glad that there's a good horror movie. January is now gone, and now we're getting the good movies now. Yes. So yeah, that was my review for the movie Get Out. So in the comment section below, please tell me, what are your thoughts and opinions of this movie? And if you haven't seen this movie yet, are you excited to see it? I hope you are, because it's really good. Give me your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please like, subscribe to this channel, and join the dark side.